Yes, I think we are. Good. Gotta send out a tweet reminding everyone to actually come watch the stream. Uh, Despite the weather. Uh, Trying to come up with something clever regarding the terrible, terrible rainy weather that we have. Uh, eh. Hate rain but love to stream. That's a terrible, terrible, terrible way of saying things. That doesn't make any sense. I'll just say. At Texas Game Dev. Uh, Texture Dev stream is now live. Come watch. Why can I never spell watch? I can never spell watch. It's not a hard word to spell. And then the new hashtag thing. Hashtag Texture Tuesdays. Or hashtag, was it Texture Tuesday or Texture Tuesdays? I don't remember what I did. Texture Tuesdays. I don't remember what I did before. Was it Modeling Mondays or Modeling Monday? I need to do better at this whole remembering my own hashtags thing. Alright, well, I'm just going to assume that it was Texture Tuesdays. All the way back up. And I kind of like Texture Tuesday. Well, I'll just do Texture Tuesday. Okay. With that out of the way, now we can actually get started. Once I, again, reposition all of my windows so that I can keep an eye on my chat. Hello, everyone. It is October 27th. This is the October 27th TextQuest Dev stream. It is cold and raining outside, so I have a nice cup of hot chocolate. And today we are going to be doing more texturing. Haha, fun. So, what are we going to do today? Well, obviously texturing, but what are we going to texture? Let's see what we have. Pull my outliner over here so we can all see it. So, there's not a lot in the actual level left texture. It's mostly small stuff. We do need to texture the stuff that we modeled yesterday. This. So, actually, let me turn off the throne hall layer, turn room layer, and let me drag out. We need to texture the bed. We need to texture, let's drag that back into props, our chest, which will probably be the first thing we do. And then we need to texture our door. So everything already has animation on it, which is nice, because that means we can just focus on the texturing. So let's go ahead and jump over to Illustrator. Let's make a new 1024 by 1024. We're going to call this not just fancy chest, actually chest, because I already have a texture made for the chest, and I like the texture. But it is a texture that is made with Photoshop. So that means we're going to remake it in Illustrator. So I'm just going to call it chest. All the other stuff is correct. Oh, hey! You're back, Mark! We're going to be doing texturing today. So settle in for some fun texture making. And drinking hot chocolate because it's terrible outside. So let me navigate to Illustrator. And let me pull in my chest, which should be in here. Maybe it's not in there. Oh, you know what? I bet it's probably right here. I'm going to drag this right here. And then, bam. Let me go back to my area here. So this is our original texture that was made in Photoshop. Oh man, sorry, I like my hot chocolate. And we're going to be making this in Illustrator. So, I'm going to move my layers over here, that way you guys can see them. So, let's go ahead and call this chest. I'm going to make a new layer, call it base, go down, and we will call one fancy and the other wood. Fancy above wood, because that's where it belongs. We're going to have a background. And there's no divides, so we just have text, which is nice. So background and then text. Oh, is my mic not on? I should be recording. Hold on. Let's see if that... that would be kind of awkward if my mic wasn't recording. So... we'll keep going on and hope that we get a response there. That way I can know. Because it looks like I'm recording on my end. It says that I'm live. So, who knows? Let me check. Oh, there it is. Then, yes, I am recording. Was it doing something weird before? Control S, say this out. That's good. I was thinking you were making a YouTube video. What do you mean? Was I doing something different? This is usually how I do the streaming. Since I just export what I do over to YouTube. Right, so let's go ahead and start with our wood. And select that. And this is going to be fun. We get 32. Bam. So we're going to go ahead and make our borders here. Of course, it's going to be stubborn to not do 32. And should be 64. So now we can just start clearing this stuff. 32. 32. 32, if it's going to cooperate. Of course it's not going to cooperate. Why would it ever cooperate? 32. Because... oh, well, I mean, I guess actually since the last time you tuned in, Marco, or Mark, I have started a new schedule. So it's still streaming on at 8 p.m. on Tuesday nights and all that, but I'm also doing Monday, Tuesday. I'm doing Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday now, and each night is sort of focusing on one specific part of development. So Tuesday nights are for texturing. 64. Sorry, I like to try and stay focused. Monday nights are for modeling, and Thursdays are for programming, while Fridays are kind of like a wild card, do whatever. So if I have some mechanic I want to test out, I'll do that on Fridays. But border. Yeah, really. There we go. So yeah, Tuesdays are for texturing. That's why I'm doing texturing. And I guess I don't need to explain it or re-explain everything. but I kind of just default to it because I'm never sure who's watching, if people have seen it already or not. And actually, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and delete fancy because I'll just copy over from wood and move it up when I'm done. So now we can move this up. We'll do base. Let's move border above base. And now we can select base. How have you been, by the way, Mark? Since I kind of run out of things to talk about. I'm not a very talky person. Let's move this under base. Gotta get into using the emotes. I'm not very good at that yet. Change this, and then we select that and change its color to black. Ta-da! So there's our base. So lock that. That's good. Oop, I should have also locked my bottom file down there. Sorry, I really like my hot chocolate. I'm always bad about drinking it. So it's about half done. Once it's gone, you won't have to sit through me sipping hot chocolate, but I also hate rainy weather, so go figure. And now we get the fun part of turning you off, and we are going to start typing. So get our Commodore 64, get our pixel size up to 72, and set our anti-aliasing to be none. Lid. So we need to go a lot larger. Guessing 120. That looks about right. Move this over. Nice. Perfect. And let's change its color to be that. And there's our first. There's our lid. We can lock that. Let's start typing the next one, which always defaults to black. Which always annoys the crap out of me. Let's also change our spacing, so I think it's negative 100. Yep. Bam. It might actually be... 75. Yeah, it's a good time to enjoy hot chocolate. Yeah, it was 75. It's a good time to enjoy hot chocolate. It's that nice time of year where it's not cold like winter gets, but it's cold enough that you can start enjoying hot food without dying. And of course, it changed the spacing again. Alright, I gotta realign it properly. Bam. Nice. How did I learn all of this? The way I like to phrase it is I rolled my head across the keyboard until I started making things work. There really is no magic way of getting things to work properly. Freaking defaults to black. I hate that. So you just kind of have to just really keep trying, I guess, is the best way to phrase it. 84, probably 96. So initially, when I first started out, I was only a designer. I didn't know any real. I didn't have any art skills. I didn't have any idea how to. Yeah, negative 100 for that. I didn't know how to program. Didn't know how to do any art. Freaking. And of course, it changed the size too. Jeez, it's annoying. 96. And yeah, I just kind of had to learn by myself. It's really nice if you have someone who already knows this stuff, because you will pick up skills a lot faster if you have someone teaching them to you. That is definitely something that I found to be the case. So even though I started teaching myself programming. I started learning JavaScript years ago when I first started programming, and I was terrible at it. like really bad. But I eventually got good enough that I could get things to work and I could program. But it wasn't until I got a job at an actual game developing company that I picked up the skill set necessary to actually handle. That I picked up the skill set necessary to actually become a good programmer. Is how I would phrase that, I guess. So before, when I was programming, really not 72. Let's do 48. And also, let me get its stupid color. Sorry, I'm kind of trying to focus on this, and it's not cooperating with me. There we go. And of course it reset its size again, because it loves to do that to me. Yeah, once I got a job at an actual game development company, the lead programmer there I just learned a crap ton of skills from him. he was really good. He is a really good programmer, and I learned a lot of stuff from him. I learned a good coding conventions. I learned a lot of how to. Geez. I don't know why I'm having so much trouble with this tonight. I learned a lot of how to space things properly, how to organize your code, how to think in non sort of bad programming ways, I guess would be the way to state it elegantly. So it's definitely you can definitely learn these skills by yourself, and it's perfectly fine. But you will definitely learn faster and probably pick up better skill sets if you have at least someone who knows the topic to talk to. Boy, there we go. It's really dumb that color sampling changes the shape of the lettering. Okay, so that is. Why won't you record videos? How to learn? I mean, I could do tutorial videos, but sorry, hot chocolate. I don't know if my process is going to work for most people, because it's a lot of the stuff that I'm doing is highly geared towards TextQuest, because this way of texturing is very, very strange. Not so much the UV layout stuff. I mean, that is, I think, a pretty good thing for people to learn. But this process of laboriously lining up text and trying to get things to be legible is kind of an awkward way of doing things. But also, there's in terms of general practices, like a tutorial on Adobe Illustrator, there are people who are far more qualified than I am and who already have videos out there that are just way better at teaching people the useful parts of the tool. So I know enough to do these things, but I'm definitely not at an advanced level, if that makes sense. I would not be the person that you would probably turn to to stuff. True, I can teach small things, but at the same time, 120, I think, and then let's change my color to be gray. Let's move it around. Yeah, I definitely could teach small things, but the problem is that I can't preemptively guess what people would need help with. So I wouldn't know what to focus on, if that makes sense. And it seems kind of awkward to make a 2-minute video on how to, say, hook up normal maps in Substance, because that's generally by itself a sort of useless information. And of course, that would be very difficult if they ever changed the tool itself. Like, I'm using Adobe Illustrator CS6. Oh, with coding. Yeah, that's a different thing. Coding. I mean, again, it's kind of a similar boat where a lot of code is sort of specific to whatever project you're working on. Now, there's a lot of translation there. You can usually port code fairly easily between projects, provided the code was set up to be. Let me make sure I didn't have it. Okay, good. It's all none. Provided that your code is not specifically hard coded for your project. Um, but at the same time, it's hard to sort of try and generalize coding. Um, there are useful tips, like one of the things for programming that I've noticed is serialized classes. I'm sorry, serializable classes, because a lot of people when they're first starting out, at least with Unity, tend to not many people want to know different ways to game design. Yeah, that's true. Um, but yeah, in terms of programming, there's a lot of nice little tricks that you can tell people, but it's pretty contextual. Like you don't want to just sort of blanket shotgun fire all this information because it's fairly useless information in and of itself. Um, but if people are having trouble with a specific issue, then it becomes a little different, I guess, because you can actually target in on it. Does a game designer have to know coding? Um, hmm. So the technical answer is no, but you should. So if you're, um, hold on, sorry, I'm organizing this. Move all this stuff into here. So if you're going to do any sort of game development, as a designer, you should know how to program, if only because it means that you'll be able to talk to programmers and know what you're asking of them. So the phrase I've heard tossed around, and I like it a lot, is "Don't let your programmers be wizards." Um, and the reason that people say that is because if you don't know what your programmers are doing, then it's if you don't know what your programmers are doing, then you don't know how long it'll take them to do a specific um, task, I guess. So, so what if you're an artist? Um, I would say it's still important, and if you're a designer, you should have some art skills as well. In my opinion, you don't have to be an expert, and that's the thing is you don't have to be an expert in programming. You don't have to be an expert artist. Um, you don't have to be an expert audio technician or composer, but you should know the basics of each of those fields as a designer. That way, you can more effectively communicate with your team members. So if you're an artist, if you like to draw, and you want to be the games designer, then let's say you need to have a programmer and a composer for the other parts of your game. You should at least be able to talk to your programmer and say, I want to do this, and you should have a general idea of what you're asking, because you don't want to accidentally ask your programmers to basically make World of Warcraft if you're not sure how to do programming. Um, so it's not so much that you have to know everything about a specific field. It's I need to do better at multitasking. It's not so much that you have to that you have to know everything about a specific area or field. You just have to know enough that you can have a basic conversation with people who are experts in that field. So you're not going to be talking about trying to come up with a great code base for doing data parsing or any sort of thing like that. You just need to know that it's good to understand what they're saying and communicate. Yeah, and communicate better. You just need to know that when you ask someone, "Hey, I want to pull data from a save file," how you should know sort of what that entails, in the sense that you're gonna have a file that's probably text, and you need to parse that text into data. But you don't need to necessarily know how to actually do that, like the actual code. You just need to know roughly what it entails. And programmers will like you a lot more if you do that, because it makes you a lot easier to work with. Um, makes you a lot easier to work with, and it makes them, not have to do as much work trying to explain things to you. 24. Is that super hard to tell? Move this up. But yeah, the basic point of that is that communication is the key there. So 36. 36 is too much. 32. 32 is about right. In fact, 32 is exactly right. And let's change this to 70. Ooh, 70 or 65. 65. Bam. Well, I mean, that's why I stream, I guess. I enjoy having conversations with people who are starting out. And hopefully my advice will be helpful for you. Well, thank you very much for stopping by, Mark. And I will see you later. Back to texturing. Move this up. So I guess, since a lot of this process is going to be repetitive, I should probably talk about other things. Let's see, I haven't played Tales of Zestria since last time, because I wanted to do more modeling after last stream. Man, I don't know. Is there anything exciting going on in the world right now? Should I just turn this into my blog, basically? Let me see. Well, it's almost November, which means 2 big games are coming out that everyone loves. Well, at least I love. And that would be... Sorry, I'm just trying to find the correct ones to duplicate. So we have Star Fox is the one I'm most looking forward to. That is coming out in November. As well as... Oh. Sorry. I kind of got distracted. As well as, of course, Fallout 4, which will just be so much fun. And will just eat up so much time that I don't know if I'll be able to actually play it. So, who knows? I honestly don't know. Duplicate section. Oh dear, no. Let's not do that. Let's stick these under a group to make it easier to move them. Then duplicate left. Call this right. Cool. Lock left. Select right. Oh no. Where is... Great. That's no good. The top part of... Oh, that's why. Okay. Let me delete this. I hate it when I lock a few layers by accident. So now if I select this, yeah, it's got all of them. Okay. So let's duplicate this again. Duplicate left. Lock left. Rename this right. Select it. Then drag. Bam. Okay, so that should basically be our text and our backgrounds of the bottom. So if I turn this on, yep, looks like everything's there. That's nice. And that means that... Oh, wait. I distinctly remember thinking that I did something stupid whenever I... That's probably not a good thing to say. I did something stupid, and I don't remember what it was when I made the initial texture. I think I wanted to turn something... turn something around? Oh, right. It's the no, I don't know. Let me pull up Unity. I did something with the texture and I didn't like it. Because it looked like something was backwards. So we'll let that compile real quick. And I guess in the meantime I can do this, duplicate that. So that's our wood section. It's all nice and crisp and SVG. These are a little different, but actually they're a little crisper now. That's nice. Hopefully they'll scale better. And of course it's going to take an eon for Unity to open up. Man, I get really distracted. I started talking about games coming out in November, and I just kind of trailed off there. Um, so yeah, let's talk about Star Fox, I guess, because that's the most interesting one. I mean, Fallout 4 is Fallout 4. That game's going to sell millions of dollars worth of copies, and I don't want to say it's going to be amazing. I'm sure it'll be fun and enjoyable and bug-ridden. I don't know. I tend not to trust Bethesda games. They're terrible with bugs. That's just the nature of the beast, though. I mean, those games are massive, so they're bound to have a couple of bugs. Yeah, you know what? This is taking too long, so I'm just going to go ahead and duplicate this. Fancy. And then, let's just move this up. Bam. Isn't that nice? And now, lock this, move this over so that I can get the actual colors of things. Hey, Mark. How have you been? Thanks for stopping by. We're doing texturing tonight. Let's unlock this. Let's lock the old layer back. So, select our borders, hit I, and then bam. Nice. Changed, isn't it? It's lovely how easy that is. Select this, hit I, bam. Nice. Let's get rid of copy while I'm in here. Lock that now that I'm done. There's no reason for me to have to delete these copies other than my own personal obsession with it. So stuff is fine. Handle is not fine. Oh dear. What just happened? Bam. That's good. Then let's select our sides. Bam. Just like that. Other is complete. And now we can do edges. And bam. Just like that. Cool. And now Unity is done. So hooray, we got both our chests colored and textured and ready to go. Oh no, Mark left. Guess I didn't say hi fast enough. So, save this. Let me open up Unity again. And let's go back to scenes, intro, castle quarters. Oh, I guess I can also do a quick run through of the current level. So currently, as of last night, I did a couple of light map bakes. Oh, nice. I bet that's fun. Textures are always super fun, as we will see tonight. So I did some baking for the light map on the first level, just to do a test light map baking. It has ambient inclusion now, which is nice. It gives us these darker corners, so it doesn't look like there's no edging, basically. Still working on getting... Oh, crap. Ah, I'm going to turn off that stupid trigger. I keep forgetting that it's there. Let me restart that. So I'm basically setting this up for the tutorial, which you'll get plopped in the world. We get our paintings that tell you how to move, how to look. Move over. We get one that tells you how to sprint. We move over again. You'll see A to interact when near an object. And then, of course, type open to open doors. And after that, everything will sort of be not quite as spoon-fed, more sort of solve it on your own. But that gives people a handle on the basics of how to do things. We have our nice fresco texture, which is kind of hard to see the cracks in the painting, but that's probably fine. Trying to make an RPG texture, and it's hard to decide. Hard to decide on the design, or hard to decide how you're going to make it. And then, of course, our terrible lighting on the doors, which is pretty much non-existent despite me trying 10,000 different things. So I'm still looking into light probes. Haven't been able to get them to work properly, but and we have these shadows that are being cast from mixed. The lighting is mixed now, so it's both static and baked, or static and dynamic objects, and that's a dynamic object casting a shadow, which is very annoying. And still got our wizard and our king. And then, yes, we need to properly UV this, which we might do tonight. Our table, which is still nice. So that's where it is right now. And we're going to be doing more texturing stuff tonight. So let's look at the chest. That's the new chest. This is the old one. This is the one I want to look at. So, that's it. Right, on the chests, it doesn't make sense, I don't think, to have it show the edge upside down here. Yeah, that's what I was complaining about. It makes sense up here for the lid, but it doesn't make sense anywhere else. So back here, we're going to go ahead and fix that. Let's go to text, edges, left. Turn this off. Those are fine. Okay, so now let's hit B to have the rotating option on. Nice. Okay. And the design, I have to make it half futuristic. That's true. Does half futuristic mean like lasers? I assume. I don't actually know what that means. We can also rotate this one. Because that's kind of what I assume half futuristic would mean, is that it's not actually shooting rockets, it's shooting like laser rockets. Or maybe like rockets that shoot lasers, which is always the default thing to go for, I guess. Oh. Move it up a bit. Okay, there we go. That's better. That down. That down by one. Move this down by one as well. These all down by one. Move these down, because I think they're a little too close to the front there. Okay, so there we go. That is our wonderful texture now. Uh-oh. Why was this? No, it's fine. I think. So now we can go ahead and make our normal map. So, and we can also delete our original one. So there's our base. Let's make a copy. Duplicate base. This is going to be normal. And let's get to work on that. So for our background, our base those are going to be I also need the class for the RPG done for Halloween. I have no time. Oh, you're doing the programming for it too? Not just the art? Let me get my fill here. Go to 50%. Okay, good. Our border is going to be... Select this. I'm going to make the border 65. 75%. 75, not 745. 75% grayscale. So that's the normals for the edges, or for the background. The actual text, since it's metal, has to be at least 75 so that it's above. And it's going to be 95, I think. There we go. Get some nice bumps on there. And then everything else is going to be... Ooh. Not the handle, though. The handle is going to be raised. So let me select these all individually. So these are going to be less than 50. We'll call them 25%, I think. Because they need to be... Actually, no, we're going to go black on those. They should be really indented. Nice. And then the handle is going to be... let's go 75, I think, again. Nice. There we go. That's basically the same for... Oh, I should have done both sides at the same time. Well. Live and learn. So all of these are going to be 50. So you're doing some programming, level character and weapons designer, and texture. Okay. That's a fun bunch of abilities. Or responsibilities, I suppose. So this was 75. Let's get this stuff. That is going to be black. Again. And you are going to be 75 again. And then edges are also 75. Nope, they are 95. There we go. Okay, so that's our normal map, which is nice. We can lock that now. And now we need to do masks. Oof. Masks. Super fun. Not that bad, actually. So let's copy this. Normal. Masks. And turn these off so I don't have to worry about them. Oh, man. So I guess doing anything exciting for Halloween besides cramming to get video game stuff finished? I'm doing the same thing, by the way. So I understand your pain there. I don't know why I always want to get rid of these, but I just don't like having them. This is the first time we get paid for this, so I want to make it good. Oh, well, that is important. It's good to prioritize things that will actually put food on the table and, keep you from having to stand out in the rain. That's exciting, though. That's exciting to hear that you guys are going to get paid for it, finally. Where was I? Masks. Right, masks. So, for the background, we can basically do... let's do metal wood, I think. And that might actually be the only... Yeah, metal wood is going to be really the only mask I have, I think. So we select that, make it white. And make our... Oh, nope, 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 I lied. It's not quite going to be like that. But it's very close to that. Oh, I didn't know that was coming out this weekend. Ah, Spectre. That might be an interesting thing to go watch. Yes. Okay. Yeah, that would be that's good Halloween plans. Um, yeah, I haven't looked too much into Spectre. Oh, what the heck? I didn't change colors. Why are you being dumb? What are they locked? Yeah, it's good to hear that you have a fan base though for your games. I mean that means that you have people who are willing to pay for it. Border is going to be white. I can largely delete. Well, except for the handle. I can delete this and then delete this stuff. Wood and metal. Move this stuff down here. Move the border stuff down here. And that means we can delete this. Get our text. Move this. Make these both white. Oh dear, that's not a good thing. Oh, except it's just that. Never mind. So I can delete that. Nice. Then I can delete this. So there's our wood metal mask. Where you live, Halloween is not really a big thing. I could see that. It's yeah, it's kind of a yeah. I guess that's true. Not everywhere gets super excited about it, but you know, rampant commercialization really helps with the excitement. So it also helps that I'm a big fan of horror films, and you know, Halloween is the time to watch those horror films. Look forward to trying your game, though. Well, thank you. Um, I need to. I'll probably actually take a look at your game after the stream, uh, just to catch up with it. See how you guys were doing with it, or see how you guys are doing. Sorry, stretching. Ah. All right. So we have one more mask that I got to make, which is um, basically just nope, 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 yep, and yep. Okay. So hold on. Select these guys. Of course. Ah, really? Why are you being stupid? That's why. Duplicate these guys and move them up here. The reason I want to do that is because turn you off. I still need that. Good. Why is it white? Oh, it's the default background. But I need to have a mask for stuff. select that, hit B, right M, all the way through, 1024. Nice. And then change this to be white. Actually, let's change these to be black. Or these to be white. And then move them above. Bam! Sweet, so I have my two masks now. Man, it took an hour to do this. I'm getting better, I swear. It's just taking forever. Okay, so with that, we did the Best on Strike Force Heroes 2. Don't play 3 because it's not that good. Oh, well, if you didn't make 3, then fine. That's fine. Yeah, I'll take a look at 2 then, after this. Oh, right. So we're done with Illustrator for this texture, which means that, well, we're not done. I gotta export everything. Hit save. Then, now, we can start deleting things. Chest.ai, SVG, hit save. Sweet. File, open recent files. Not chest. Chest.ai. Close all this stuff. Get rid of color and normal masks. I'll keep our normals. Export this as an SVG. Normal. Hit OK. File. Open recent files. Chest.ai. Close all of these. Get rid of normal and base. Open up masks. Get rid of the stuff mask. And then save this out. SVG. Underscore mask. Metal wood. Save that out. And one more file. Open recent files. Just AI. Close, close, close. Get rid of these. Open up masks. Get rid of wood, metal. Cool. Save this out. SVG. Mask. Stuff. Save. Outline, all that crap. Cool. Great. So now I can open up Substance. Put this all together in a nice big bow. New Substance, which, Substance 5.3. It's cool, don't get me wrong, but I hate the color orange. Which seems like such a petty reason to not like things, but just, it was nice before. What was wrong with the nice red gradient? I gotta go to orange, one of the ugliest colors out there. At least it's not yellow. Import. Not import, sorry, link. Vector graphics. Let's go to castle. Chest, all the way through chest normal. Hit open. Then bam, got our stuff all here. So we can select all these, drag them over. Automatically creates them for us. Let's go ahead and make these grayscale, because masks and normals are all grayscale. There's our normal. It's going to go up there. There's our masks. Move these over here. And let's go ahead and just pop this right in here. Oh, did they change snapping? Oh no, snapping is so terrible now. It's really hard to do. Okay, that's not good. Well, anyway. Add node. Hit our normal in there. Make sure it's OpenGL. Bam. Cool. There's our current normal map. So if we plug that in, that's what we get. Get stuff, chest. That's all sunk in. That's good. Edge has not got enough resolution to actually make much of a difference. That's interesting. Well, but we know that because of the stupid way that it defaults to 256. Which I really wish I could change that. Save this as throne chest.sps. That's good. Let's go to normal map. Normal combine. Pull that in here. Move this here. Move this here. And move this here. Nice. So now we got to do our fancy mask stuff. And first, let's move this way up here. Grab all these things. Move them out. How are we gonna do this? Um, hmm. Well, there are a couple of ways that we can handle this. So we're gonna need a blend node to start us off, of course. Let's go ahead and start with. Yeah, we'll do the stuff later. I'm gonna have to zoom out a bit, make sure that I can get everything. Move this over here. Move this as the base. Then we'll need noises. Scroll all the way to the bottom to get wood fibers. That's going to be our base. Nice. And I wonder if I should have a mask to not really do something for the fancy chest, but it's fine for now. We're going to have another blend node. Blend with that as our base, so that way we don't get extra stuff for stuff, because stuff shouldn't look like stuff. So we plug that all in. We don't want stuff to look like it's wood. It doesn't make sense for that. It should be smooth. Oh, was I stupid? Did I make stuff? No, I made it indented. Okay, good. I was worried for a second. I thought I made stuff pop out, which would have been very strange. Okay, so that's basically all I need to do. I could get fancy and try to have scratching on my metal, but I don't know if I want to do that. I can plug it in, see what it looks like. Let's get some, not grunge, scratches, which I think are at the bottom here. Just plug that in. Let's see. No, it's not great. Let me get this so I can see it a little more clearly. Let's go ahead, like 12 by 12. That might not be enough. I'm going to do 25 by 25. What are we getting? It's not doing much. Which, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, honestly. Well, what we could do is add. Let's go ahead and move this stuff up. Move this up here. Move this to here. Move this to down here. So that's our masks, which are going to go down here, actually. Stay separated. Move this. Move this. Nice. Let's go ahead and move this down here. Move this down here. Alright, so we got a little bit of a nicer organization going. Not sure if I want to keep the scratches or not. They don't seem to be doing, they don't add much, I don't think. I could change the rotation on them. Let's call it like 180. But it seems like they're too small at 25, so if I make these, say like 100 by 100, which is the default, those are really scratchy now. Which comes off as a bit too scratchy, I think. The only thing that's in the way of game development is school. I understand your pain there as well. School is very time consuming, which sucks. I mean, I guess, school is a good thing. It educates you, makes you a citizen of the world, blah, 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 blah. But at the same time, it is very time consuming and it stops you from doing the work you want to do. So you have to learn how to juggle that, I guess. I think I'm going to be lazy and I'm just going to expose these parameters. So I'm going to expose, I guess pattern size width is fine. Expose, pattern size, height. Okay. Expose patterns. Oh, really. Rotation var. Oh, yeah. These are not great names, but that's fine. We'll keep them like that. So now that's our normal. Let's go ahead and select all this. Add frame. Call it normals. Normal. Go up here. Add frame. Ah, jeez. Oh, didn't do it. Interesting. If you're far enough, it won't actually select an object. Okay. Probably should report that as a bug. Color. Change its color to be green, I think is what I make these. Let's move it down and to the left slightly. Right there. Nice. Yeah, school is... Yeah, school. Select these. Add frame. Move it over. Up a little bit. Call this masks. And these are red. And that's all good right there. Only things left would be our roughness and our metallic, which are going to be very similar to what I already have for normal. In fact, it might even be one step less. I don't think I'm going to have to do any sort of masking for the stuff area. So uniform color, grayscale, uniform color, grayscale. Let's make this white. Plug that into roughness. Except it's backwards because of course it is. 200, and then let's make this 1. So now, yay! Now everything's nice and rough now. Oof, those scratches are kind of tough. We'll let it be though for now. I do like the wood though. The wood has a nice tint to it. That's a really nice effect. Cool. So that's our rough. Yeah, I definitely don't need anything for dock all that. When I'm done with normal school, I can go over to NGDS, Game Development School, and move on to work for DICE if they're interested. DICE would be cool to work for. It's good to have a target company, one that you would really, really, like the company that you always wanted to work for. I think everyone has that. That one company that they would love to work for. Mine would be Nintendo. Just because I'm secretly a 10-year-old in the body of a 20-some-year-old. Also, I grew up on Nintendo games, so at frame. So I love playing Nintendo games. Rough. I think I make rough purple. Pretty sure I make rough purple. Then add node, blend. Down here again. Add node, uniform color. In fact, I'd probably say that Nintendo has influenced a lot of my game design. Just because a lot of the way they approach mechanics is to make them as intuitive as possible. So I tend to try and make games that have a lot of intuitive mechanics. Make that metallic. So it's a very slight metallic, but that's fine. Press D to dock all this. Add frame. Which has been super fun. In fact, if you told 10-year-old me that the first game I would ever design, or I would ever develop on my own would be a text-based game, I would just not believe you. I would call you a liar, and probably several other bad names. Just because a lot of it's not an intuitive genre. And I don't even know if I would call it a fun genre necessarily. It's enjoyable, don't get me wrong, I don't know if I would call it a fun genre. I tend to to separate those two. Fun and enjoyable are not the same thing. Um, and games are usually one or the other, not both. Games can be both, but it's usually one or the other. So a game like Star Fox, I would say, is fun. A game like The Sims is enjoyable, not fun. It's enjoyable because you enjoy what you're doing, but you're not having fun while you're doing it. It's how I would describe it. Okay, so that's our substance for it set up. Um, Now I just have to finish setting all of this stuff up. All right. Oh, I also gotta expose these parameters. Um, so that is. Let's see. I fell in love with dice after Star Wars Battlefront was confirmed. See, I'm really kind of leery of Star Wars Battlefront because it looks like just Battlefield with Star Wars stapled onto it, and I don't know if that's enough to really warrant getting it. Uh, I don't know. I'm skeptical, is how I would say that. Um, so, oh, new. Here we go. Um, I guess I'll call it Metal Rough. That's not confusing at all. Um, and then expose this as Base Rough. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure on dice. They do good work. I definitely will say that. But the whole Star Wars thing, it was. How do I explain the whole my whole position on Star Wars? Um, so I love Star Wars. I have always loved Star Wars ever since I first watched it. And, say what you will about the prequel trilogies. I will say they're not the worst thing in the universe. They're not great. They're not good if you're a Star Wars fan. But hey, they have their own qualities to them. Again, not great movies, but there are cool parts. And there are cool things that came out of them. That much is definitely sure. Um, Metal Metallic, that's not confusing at all. Um, okay, so now I can go back up here. Hit save, go back to chest. So now I gotta organize all this stuff. So move our roughnesses up, metallics up. Your bases are at the bottom. So open all of this stuff up. So metal rough is a slider. 0.75. Metal rough. So you felt that way, but then you played the beta. Was the beta really that good? I heard a lot of people say they liked the beta, but I don't know. Betas are kind of you got to be careful about them because sometimes the beta can be better than the end game. Um, I guess the most famous example of that would be, what was it, Aliens Colonial Marines, where the demo was just a lie, basically. Metal Metallic, that's such a terrible way for me to say that. I'll just say 0.1. So you should always be careful about things. But, like I said, Dice does have a history of doing good work. I just hope that EA's tendency to make really stupid decisions doesn't just screw people over. Important to put I think the prequel trilogy was important to put the whole story together. Yeah, I think the reason that people didn't like it is because there was this feeling that you didn't need to explain where Darth Vader came from and what happened because there were hints of it in the original trilogy, which was enough for people. And I understand that. I think that's not an unfair assessment. But at the same time, also, I kind of want to just I'm going to try something here. Switch nodes, if I can find it. Adjustments or blending. switch. Here we go. So I'm going to do this. No, switch grayscale is actually what I want. So, of course, there's no convenient way to do this. It's too late for me now because I pre-ordered the unlimited. You could still cancel your pre-order. But, you know, no real reason to, I guess. But yeah, the whole prequel thing, I think was just people getting mad about something that they enjoyed growing up. And there is legitimacy to that, you know. It's perfectly understandable that people would want to defend the way that they saw something as a kid. But at the same time, so if I hit false, will that go to yay? Add node, uniform color. I'm doing a quick like switch thing, which I've never done before. So I'm going to expose this. So if people don't want, if I don't want scratches, I can just turn off the scratches basically. Okay. Anyway, where was I? So I can expose this as a new thing. Call it use scratches. Hit OK. And then let's go back to here. Oh, you paid for it too? Let's say true. Use scratches. Cool. So I've never used a bool before. That'll be interesting. So I can save all that. Let's actually move this up to here. Huh. That's interesting. Okay. Hit save. And now I'm ready to export this. Publish. Call it chess.sbsar. Cool. Hit OK. Nice. And the last thing I need to do is actually export this. So I'm going to oh, you know what? No, that's fine. Save this out. Do chest PNG. Cool. So we got this. And now I have to actually make a chest texture for this. It was expensive to pre-order it. $130. $130. That game had better cure cancer. There is no reason to pay $130 for a game. Not even Star Wars. Not even Star Wars deserves $130. That had better come with a crap ton of collectible stuff. Like, you'd better get every DLC that will ever be made for that thing, along which, of course, we all know there will be a lot of because it's EA. But you'd better get all of the DLC and all of the, just literally everything. Everything that ever comes out for that, you better get. I'm more excited for Black Ops 3. I feel like, from what I saw, it looks like Black Ops 3 is doing a lot of stuff that Advanced Warfare is doing, but I could be completely wrong on that. Because I haven't admittedly seen much on it, just initial stuff. So I don't know if they're going for that like high-techy thing again. But admittedly, I've never been that into the Call of Duty besides the zombie mode. I love the zombie mode, but I'm not great at much of anything else. Actually, so I'm going to go ahead and open up material, Hypershade. So, do I have a castle chest? I have a castle carpet, but not a castle chest. Okay, good. So let's do create, materials, Fong, chest, mat. Hit OK. Let's get, oh, I almost forgot. Let's go to castle, and go to castle. Gotta get our chest. I double clicked. Oh, interesting. That's fine. We'll replace it. File. Oh dear. Oh, there's our image. Chest, not PNG. So it's going to look terrible because it's not a high resolution. But it's fine. Chest text. Cool. You get a statue, season pass, the game, and a poster. How big's the statue? Because for $130, I mean, I will admit, I got the collector's edition of Skyrim when it came out. You know, that big honking box that's like 1.5 feet by 1.5 feet by 1.5 feet. But that had a giant statue of Alduin in it. So you better be getting something that takes up a lot of real estate. Otherwise, I would be pissed. Oh, you're a competitive player for Black Ops. Oh, very well, for God. Okay. I've never been. I've never been good at competitive play on most games. It's not that I lack the reflexes necessarily. I just lack the dedication. I tend to get really bored with a game after about a month. Some games can hold me longer. Like Metal Gear Solid 5 held me for a long time. If I really like a game, I'll play it till the end of time. Although that's not true. I play a game until I get sick of it, and then I just don't want to touch it for a long time. Like when I got Fallout New Vegas, I played. Oh my God, what did I do? I think I played through 3 single player modes. Well, I got 3 of the endings. In one sit down, basically, just because I wanted to get done with some of the endings, but then I just didn't want to touch it for like 5 years. The statue is 134 centimeters. Okay, 45 centimeters wide. Okay, so it's not bad. That's actually really, really nice. But still, though, $130. What's it a statue of? Is it like Darth Vader? Or is it just a generic stormtrooper? Or what, I guess? That could be anything. Oh man, it's going to be super nasty to try and texture this. So, here's our UV texture editor. Let's move this over here so we can take a look at it. So now, we have got to do a lot of moving around to position, properly see this. Okay, so we're going to do this on our lid. I was going to move it up, that way we can properly see. Oh my God, I lost it. That way we can properly see everything. So let's move it to the bottom for now. So this is our top face. Let's rotate this to the left. Then move it up. Oh, it's Boba Fett. Really? Boba Fett? That's like the most random one. I mean, everyone loves Boba Fett. He's amazing, but I don't know. I'm kind of sad about Star Wars anymore. Just because it's just so depressing to see how it's handled. Because it's not like it wasn't a merchandising thing to begin with, but God, the literal moment that Disney bought it, you could just see any semblance of a soul that it once had shrivel up and die as Disney just rubbed its hand and was like, yes, I will now make all of the money in the world. But, it's disgusting. It disgusts me to see it. Sorry, I could rant for days on Disney and Star Wars and stupid J.J. Abrams. But that's not interesting to people. Also, it has nothing to do with texturing, of which I've done a pretty poor job of doing tonight. I'm texturing just fine, but good God, I need to focus. Also gonna turn on the background, that way I can see it a little easier. So, how are we gonna do this? Might actually expand a little bit more, shrink down a little bit. This to the left. That is uncomfortably small. Let's move it a little bit in. And once more, we're going to shrink it down a bit. So that's about the size we want. Disney made a new lightsaber. It's never seen before. What are you talking? Do you mean like the stupid tri-beam laser? I hope you don't mean that, because that's a really dumb lightsaber. I really don't like it. It's a stupid lightsaber. Let me get in close here to make sure I'm not. Okay, I don't want it to bleed over. So let me go edge. Basically going to select all of these except for these guys. Then we're going to go to... Oh, wait. Do I have... I don't think I do. Boo. Okay. I gotta... try to position this in a way that I can see everything. UV. Got UV edges. Nice. So now, go face, make sure that it's separate. Yay! Oh, wait, was it? No, it was not. Or yes, no it is. Okay, it's just the grid that was throwing me off there. I don't know. Disney is not exactly known to have much of a creative soul when it comes to things anymore. So I tend to kind of look at them and sigh whenever they do anything. But who knows? Maybe there's enough of a passion for Star Wars that they can't, completely screw it over. You can dream, I suppose. You can dream. Yeah, the three lightsaber thing. That's really, really stupid. I just, why did they do that? Actually, I know why I did. I bet I know why they did that. Basically, it probably went something like this. J.J. Abrams walked in and is like, so I have this really cool idea. And then Disney was like, yeah, here's $100 million. Sure, why not? And then the rest of the world was kind of like, why did they do that? That was a really, really stupid idea. But it's J.J. Abrams, and obviously he can't do anything wrong. I really hate J.J. Abrams. Like, I really do not like J.J. Abrams. I just hate J.J. Abrams. He does terrible, terrible work. Of course, I don't actually know if he was... I don't think he wrote the new Star Wars movie, did he? Wookiee is about... Yeah, the Wookiee weird crossbow blaster. Yeah, I don't know if J.J. Abrams is actually like the writer for the new Star Wars movie, or if he was just the director. I think he was just the director. At least that's what I want to believe. Because whenever he does anything writing-wise, he's terrible. He's just awful at writing. Like, just the worst. Hold on. Shrink these down a little bit. And I think that comes from the fact that he doesn't know how to properly write suspense. I guess would be how I would phrase it. He's not good at doing pacing. He always feels like things have to move. So if you go back and watch a lot of his older movies, he never actually stops the camera. So in moments where you think the camera is stopped, look again, it's not actually stopped. It's always slightly panning, and it just kills me. to watch his stuff. His cinematography is garbage. Um, that's coming from a guy who's not even a cinematographer. Like, I don't have any right to really get angry about that, but good God, it drives me crazy. It drives me up the wall. But, you know, what do I know? I'm not a Hollywood producer. Nor am I worth however many millions of dollars J.J. Abrams was worth. For some mysterious universe. Or some mysterious reason in the universe. Oh my god, it's so low res that it's almost impossible to properly see. Scale this up a little bit. Scale it up. Scale it down. Move it over. This back. There we go. I think that's a little bit better. Gotta rotate it though. Worst thing is that Disney didn't want the story that Lucas wrote. Yeah, well, there were probably reasons that they didn't do that. I'm willing to bet that they didn't do it because they wanted to. As sad as it is, people really don't respect George Lucas. I don't think. Um, so people were like, "Oh, but if George Lucas writes it, it's going to be terrible." And you can say that, and sure, maybe there's some legitimacy to saying that George Lucas can't write. Um, but Text Quest the movie, yeah, that would be about as interesting as the Half-Life movie that was supposed to happen. Just because no dialogue. Um, but yeah, like say what you want about George Lucas. At least the guy had a soul. At least whenever he did something and he messed up and it wasn't good, it wasn't because he was trying to just make money. It was because he legitimately thought it was the best way for him to do something. He thought he was doing good work, and you can sort of respect him for that. It was kind of endearing. But whenever Disney does something and messes up, it's not because they had some grand vision. It's because they were cynical and wanted money. And it makes me sad that people sort of don't care about the soul of a piece of work, and they only really care about the raw sort of spectacle of it. I don't even want to say it's entertaining necessarily. It's just they want the spectacle. They want J.J. Abrams cool things flying through the air, TIE fighters, blatant homage, not even homages, blatant callbacks, and obligatory references to the previous original trilogy. And I don't even know if J.J. Abrams has any sort of respect for Star Wars or not. He certainly didn't for Star Trek, and he even said so. I guess kudos to him for at least admitting that he didn't like Star Trek, but still, I don't know. It's a complicated issue, and I understand that. But good God, I really hate how cynical it is. So disgustingly cynical, and that makes me sad. Sad, sad, sad. But yeah, I guess enough about me. uh, Enough about me and my own personal hatred of J.J. Abrams. Okay, I think I got all of this stuff. You kind of can't say he can't write either because he wrote the original trilogy. Well, that is true, but there were certainly a lot of circumstances that helped make the original trilogy what they were. He did write the original trilogy, but he had an editor, and I think it might have been a co-writer even, do a lot of the writing as well. So George Lucas wrote the original script, but then these guys came in, or maybe this guy, I don't remember his name. They came in and actually rewrote a lot of stuff, made it well, they improved it obviously because Star Wars is one of those sort of seminal classics of modern film. Um, and a lot of the sort of additions tend to get attributed to them, which is true. I think they did add basically a lot of things that people love. But again, the fact that George Lucas did start it, so he does at least know he has that vision of what it should be. Um, but again, people love spectacle, and that's just how it is. Okay, so this is going to be super fun. um, we can move this off to the side because I don't need to worry about it for now. Select that. Select that. Let's scale this down. Move it up. Move this over here. Move this to here. Move this down to here. And scale it up. Position it. Move it a little further up. Gotta scale it down. Crap. I just can't hate on that beard. He does have a really nice beard. That was one of the things that I remember thinking as a kid. Is that George Lucas's beard is like a really interesting beard. It's not even impressive. It's not like big and bushy. It's just a really interesting beard. I don't know. There's some sort of refined elegance to his beard, I guess. It feels like it's blurry. I think that's fine though. That's good too. Now we can scale this. Move this over here. Let's expand it a little bit, then shrink it down. Nice. So there's our stuff. Our edges. Which, I want to do that in reverse or not. No, I think that's fine. So that's the first object. Now we got to do it again for the bottom. Hey, this one texture. Man, I get like one texture done per day because of how complicated some of these textures are. It's not so much complicated, the textures themselves, as much as complicated in getting it to line up and properly look right. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's turn on the ends, that way I can see it. Select it, let's move this over. Go to edge mode. Select all of this. Don't need this, don't need this, don't need this, don't need this, don't need this. UV. Yep. Nope, I completely screwed that up. Good thing I didn't do anything with it yet. Don't need this, don't need this, don't need this, and don't need this. There we go. That's what I want. Right? Yes, that's what I want. Jeez. UV. Cut UV edges. Good. Oh, you finished the RPG? Nice. Nice. Fellow artist high five across the internet. Which should totally be a thing. There's a lot of dead. I just realized that there's been a lot of dead air tonight because I've been kind of zoning out while I do this work. I need to do better at entertaining, at least talking, keeping things going, I suppose. It's kind of. I mean, texturing is interesting. Maybe I shouldn't air it though because it's kind of slow. I feel like I don't respond well whenever I do it. But it's also one of the more visually interesting things that I can do. I mean, it's a lot more interesting visually than programming. So I can zoom this stuff in. Let's move it up. Let's scale this down a bit. Let's move it over. Actually, is that? Oh, let's scale that up. Right there. This. Okay. And then, fun of fun, I can move all this crap to the side. Let's go ahead and move this stuff up. Move this stuff to the left. Inspired me, so I made the RPG in the game. But the upgraded version is the Doomsday Laser Mark II. Oh, cool. So the laser theme was a success. Sort of, I guess. Or I was correct in guessing that lasers are involved. Yeah, can't go wrong with lasers. There's just something that talks to the inner kid in everyone when you have lasers involved. I don't know what it is, but it's magic. Position this. Position this. Let's scale it up. To the left a little bit. Move this up. Move this. And of course, we gotta move this. Scale it up. Scale it down. And we got our stuff. Ta-da! Stuff and stuff. Isn't that nice? Hit save. And now, we gotta work on all the other stuff. So much stuff. It's all rotated too. Okay, so let me select this. Select this. Let's move this all over to the left. Rotate it to the left. I'm guessing that this is the bottom. Yes. Which I don't need to be too... Well, no, I gotta be as careful. Because of course I do. It's actually going to be a little different than the sides, isn't it? Yeah, interesting. So let's move this down. Scale it in a little bit. Move it to the left. You're done for the day? Heading off? Probably be a good time to take a break, but I think I'm going to finish up this texture and we'll end the stream today. Just because it's been an hour and a half of me texturing one object, a single object, which is, I guess, what happens when you rework your entire art pipeline to have 7,000 steps instead of just one. But thank you very much for stopping by. I always enjoy people stopping by just so that I can try to talk to them. I don't know how well I succeeded in that tonight, but I certainly enjoy having people on more than I enjoy sort of just talking into the ether and hoping that people watch later on. So. Let me just take this. Then let's go ahead and grab this. Grab this. Scale it down. Down. Let's move it up. Grab this. Move it over. That's basically lined up pretty perfectly. Grab this. Move it over. Move it down. It's lined up again pretty perfectly. Scale it out. Today I made the RPG, then programmed it, made a new map, and programmed that, and made a new class. Good God, you had a very productive day. I wish I was that productive. I had I had a class I had to go to at 10, came back, and because of the rain, I was a lot slower at getting around today. And I did actually have an interview, like an actual newspaper interview about Text Quest, talking about the process to get it on Steam Greenlight and all that, which was pretty cool. So that's our bottom. Does that look fine? I think so. It's honestly hard to tell when it's 256. I need to blow these up to like 1024 before I export these. So, yeah, I mean, I had somewhat of a productive day, I guess. But at the same time, I didn't get nearly as much done on Text Quest as I would like. My goal for tonight's stream was to get a crap ton of stuff textured. Obviously, that didn't turn out well. But after the stream, I'll probably pick up the pace a lot because I think I do have some trouble doing simultaneous talking and texturing. That's definitely something I think I do have trouble with. But, well, I mean, it's necessary to try and keep people entertained, obviously. Let's go to edge detection. Let's highlight all of these. Get rid of... Oh. Yeah, I guess get rid of these. Yeah. Oh, dang it. Oh, no. Dang it. There. Okay, good. Then UV. Cut UV edges. And thank you very much for staying until I'm finished. I enjoy the company. Save. Select our faces. Make sure I can move them. Good, I can. So select these. Move this up. This is the sides, so it's going to go over here. That's where our side is going to be. I might end up scaling that up to compensate for its size a bit, but for now, I can move this over here. Oh dear, that's not a good thing. What just happened? Oh no. Hold on. I was stupid. There we go. Put this all together again. Good. I selected the wrong edges to split. Select these, and these are actually the sides that I want to get rid of. There we go. You had your buddy help you working on it. That would be nice. Man, I kind of miss working with team members. It's definitely a nice thing to have. It makes working a lot faster and a lot nicer. It's just nice to have someone to talk to while you work, I guess. Especially if you're both working on the same thing. But, well, that's the life I chose. The life of a solo developer. Well, I guess I didn't technically choose it. It just kind of got thrust upon me, and I went with it from then on. So let's select these two things. Scale them down slightly. Move it over to the right. Is that correct? It's a little too far gone. Scale it down a little bit more. Move it over. Move it down. Gotta scale it up now. But that is correct otherwise. So now, actually move this over here. Let's line it up properly. And then just grab this, move it over here. There we go. Fortunately, once I get since these things are basically mirrors of each other, it's not that hard to get them set up properly. So let's select these. then go back over here. So this, ooh, this is going to be fun. Just because probably isn't going to need to be as long, which means that I can actually shrink this. Well, Command Z that. Shrink it down a bit. Go up. Shrink it a little bit more. Scale it slightly up. Move it slightly down. And move this. And then boom. There's our edges. There we go. Nice. So our sides are done. All that's left is the front and back. Grab that. Let's slide it down into place. Boom. Nice. All that we got to do now is move this up to chest. And actually, before we do that, let's make sure that we segment things properly. So select our edges, hit OK, and then we want to get rid of the ones on the side. Cool. UV, cut UV edges. So now if I select face, move it, cool. Now we can grab all this, move it over. I'm going to scale it down slightly. Let's move it over slightly. That's a good size. It's going to be super tricky. Move this slightly over. And it is now too large, which is problematic. So that means we're going to have to start using the 3D viewport to actually get this selected. So let's scale it down slightly more. Move it over. Then we'll move it, scale it up. Move it up. That's pretty good. Ugh, man. I hate trying to tiptoe around when I'm modeling like this. Always makes it super annoying to actually do anything. Alright, so there's the edge, the sides. Ah, no, dang it. I accidentally clicked on the model itself. That's good. We're like 5 seconds away from the end. I can taste it. Select that. Then select that. Oh dear. This isn't going to be good. So let's move this stuff up. That's fine. Move it to the left. Scale it out. Right. So that is correct, but you... Oh. No. Yes. You should go down here with these guys. It tends to flip your UVs when you're doing a cube, so it sort of mismanages these, which makes it a little annoying. So now the top is upside down, which actually needs to flip like that. And these guys are going to go down here. And I am really debating if I want to take a break after this and play some Tales of Zestria. I should not do that, though, because I have a lot of stuff that I need to do and be productive. So, that would be irresponsible of me, and I should not do it. Although, these are also scaled up too large. So, I've got to scale these down a little. Just a little. Move these back down. these guys. Move them back down, or move them back up. That's good. And then I just got to rotate this guy. Nice. Okay, last thing is the faces. Oops. Let's get this face and this face. And now we can simply scale up to a certain extent. Why are you snapping like that? Come on, be a team player. Move you up. And then let's scale you up a little bit to make it a little nicer. Sweet. I think we got our good spot. Nice. So there's our chest. All textured and fancy. Got a lid, got our stuff inside of it, got our handle. So the last thing we need to do, after all that effort, is 1, minimize this. 2, edit, delete history. That's all beautiful. And now, oh, thanks for stopping by. We're done UVing it. The only thing I was going to do now is export it into Unity and just take a look at it. So we will export selection if I could ever find it. I don't know why I can never do that. Call it chest.fbx. Yep, that's fine. Open this all up. We want our castle. But thanks for stopping by and taking a look at everything I've been doing. It's always good to catch up. Models, levels, intro, chest, castle throne, chest.fbx, copy over. Place file. Bam. And bam. Nice. There is our chest. And the last thing we have to do is actually import our substance. So let's go to substance, castle, throne room. Pull up substance, chest.sbsar. And bam, right there. Let's go ahead and set the anisotropic filtering. That's all good. Let's get our chest and our lid. Change this over to chest. Nice. There is our... Yep, that's... I was worried about that. So let's open this up. Let's set this to 1K. Hit apply. Bam, it looks nice. And the last thing we're going to do is turn off use scratches. Haha! Nice. So there's our wonderful chest. An hour and a half's worth of work. Inside of Unity. It actually looks pretty nice. And I'm sure if I had a light map for it, it would look even nicer. So yeah, I think that's going to be a good spot to stop tonight. We got a nice chest textured and all that. So, that looks fine. I was a little worried for a second there. So yeah, I think we're going to call it a night. No streaming tomorrow because it's Wednesday, and then of course we'll be back Thursday to do some programming, which will be more level logic. So thank you very much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you all next